Hey everybody, my name is Wyatt and I'm Ferda Tunes, and today we got the first video in the new series of talking about my personal experiences with albums, and today we'll be doing the brand new, long-anticipated sophomore album from Porter Robinson, Nurture. Now, if you don't know Porter Robinson, I'm not here to do a whole history lesson, but his debut album, Worlds, came out in 2014, and like, this is one of those, like, what can I even say about it? Like, just a monumental album for EDM as a whole. And I think around 2016-17 I started going to the Veld Festival in Toronto year after year with all my friends who got me into this album, and I was really getting into a lot of different kinds of electronic music just a year later, so this album was pretty constantly in rotation for the last 5 years. Now, when he announced this new album and dropped the first single, Get Your Wish, my anticipation just grew, and it only grew and grew and grew, with the next few singles, Something Comforting being my favorite. But I was so anxious to hear this album, and of course we all thought it was going to come out last year, but there was numerous delays, everything, but it finally came out this year, and I missed it. Like, I had seen him drop the release date for it, and I was like, let's go, it's finally coming, and then it came, and I was like, I'm not ready, bro. So, realized this, tomorrow, like, I set it all out. Perfect day for it. There's this gorgeous waterfront that I live, like, just a 5-minute walk away from, and it's so amazing. There's a park just on the other side. It's got nature trails, water, skies, forests, nature, just everything. Just a beautiful spot. I go to it nearly every day just to calm my mind, listen to some gorgeous music. So I planned just a few hours before sunset to go immerse myself in the forest, brought a nice joint, brought my good headphones, posted up on a little tree. There were some kids running around, so I went near by the pond just on the other side of the lake, and right by this tree, posted up, sat, and doesn't look like the most glamorous spot from the picture, but I'm telling you, you had to be there. Started the fucking album, let's go. Like, I want to get into how this hour went down. And I mean, the intro just sets such a perfect scene for really the experience I had, and obviously the album. And all I got from it right away was, this is just so much artistic and especially ambitious progression. And I just really knew I was in for something really special. And then Look at the Sky just propelled me into the vibes, and I was just so quickly in there. Really felt like a life-affirming song from Porter, and he had talked about how he kind of went into a creative slump and a bit of a depression after Worlds, and just having so many years spaced out between projects. And just such an awe-inspiring song, just gorgeous and uplifting, and it's honestly just feels like an anthem for hope. And in the moment of getting to track 3, the first single off the album, Get Your Wish, which I'd obviously heard so many times, this really felt like the start of the album for me in the moment, weird enough. I had finished my joint by that point, and I was just, the way the song starts too, I feel like you could kind of get what I mean. It just, I was in there, and I was just like, let's fucking go, we're here. And really just in this moment, I got the same feeling as when, you're at a music festival with your friends, and one of those songs comes on that you all just love, and you're just singing your brains out, and it just, one of those moments that just physically couldn't feel more perfect. This song grew on me a ton too. I loved it when it first came out, but it's really just hit harder in the context of the album. The melody is so addicting, and it's just perfectly euphoric and hype. It bangs so hard, but it's so beautiful. Like, the progression could not be better, I think. The pianos that creep in on the last drop, it's the cherry on top. Insanely banging, beautiful, gorgeous song. I was utterly shocked by the next track, and seriously, when I say my jaw dropped, it hung the fuck open for all 6 minutes of wind tempos. I could have never guessed this kind of psychedelic folktronica approach, and being such a huge fan of Fortet, I adore this sound, and Porter Robinson just seamlessly dropped just top-notch gems on it. The sample work on the song Musician is enough to make any fan of sample-based music just turn the fuck up. Like, this is just another extremely inspirational song, and really feels like a letter from Porter to Porter. Just this surge in creativity and ideas and ambition. It's just so fun, so catchy, so fast-paced, just honestly, like, the perfect song to, you know, give somebody to get a rough idea about what this whole album is about. After this, the album started bleeding together a bit for me. I was really high, like, damn near, it felt like I was in a trip, like, just everything, just absorbing every sound I possibly could, and just really being focused on that and just the environment around me. Doremifasolatida really set this off, and it's hard to explain the headspace I was in, but I was just slipping into this experience of this album, and this song, again, was just another one that blew me away. I was just rock into it so much. And around this time too is when I got up and started walking around a bit through the forest, and there's this bench area, this kind of clearing in the forest that is just like a sanctuary, and I just sat, listened to Mother throughout that one, and what a cute song, man. Like, oh, really just sitting with this song, eyes closed, being in the forest, just felt like the universe giving me the biggest hug. And then Dullscythe, holy fuck! Like, again, like, I was just so mind blown at the sheer direction and ambition that Porter went in with these more glitchy, almost abstract, atmospheric tracks. Like, it really reminded me of some Fortet stuff that is honestly one of the best compliments I can give it. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to just hear all this versatile influence come through in this album, and it all just pulled off so seamlessly. Like, it was just me and the music, and the pulsating glitchiness of the first half of the track seamlessly going into these piano rolls that just float around you. Oh my god, like, I was literally ascending. I don't think anyone walked by me on the trail when it was, but if they did, I'm pretty positive they saw me like this. At this point, the production just seriously had me in this next level trance, which is really rare for me on first listens, just being so ADD. Sweet Time has grown to be one of my favorites on the track list for sure. Just one of the softer songs, one of those end of the night festival tracks that just, you know, even if you're single as shit, you just feel the love. It's undeniable. And I love the balance it finds in the track list. It's another kind of breather moment here. Just want to more chill, but oh, it's so fucking gorgeous. By the time I got to Mirror and then Something Comforting, the other two singles that had come out before, I was up walking around the trail a bit, looking at the sun, reflection off the pond, the sky, everything, and I found this tree that had toppled over that was just mystified me, and the urge was too strong to even try to ignore it, and I just climbed that motherfucker. Just posted up on this tree, definitely a little too high for how high I was, and just rocked out to Something Comforting, man. It was just, oh, it was glorious. And I'd heard these singles so many times, but no surprise, they hit just all over again. Like, just hearing them in the context of the album, it was so perfect. It felt like those last few bangers that a DJ or whatever will toss in before the end of their set, just to get that last bit of hype and energy out of you. And then I just sat on this tree and, you know, had a nice view of the forest and as well as the pond and sky and everything, and I finished the album there. And then Blossom came on, and if you explained this track to me before the album came out, I would be like, oh, like, it's basically an acoustic ballad, like, from Porter Robinson? Like, I don't know how that's gonna play out, but oh my god, like, I damn near burst into tears. I know at least one or two rolled down the cheek, but oh, wow. I'm really rambling, but his songwriting really shines a lot across the board here, but Blossom, oh my, one of those melodies that even when you think about it and it gets stuck in your head a bit, it brings an emotion out of you, whatever it may be. It's just serene. Again, I felt so entranced by the album at this point. It just felt like my life was at a peak. And then Untolds came on, the last two tracks came on, just blended together into one really for me. And literally, like, I was just sitting there just like, yeah, like, holy fuck, like, this is amazing, this is perfect. Again, just trying to take in how mind blown I was, which is a hard thing to do when it's still happening to you. Most songs on here have just an insane amount of layers and even like hidden sound effects that just add to this, create this huge, colorful world. Like, genuinely, over the next few days, I listened to this album at least once a day, just really sitting with it night after night, just listening for all the subtleties in these, you know, pretty overblown mixes. Pretty much every single song on here has that effect to me, and it's literally ear candy. It feels like my brain is having an orgasm by the end of the song. I'm sorry for that, but that's seriously the best way I can describe it. It's all just so fantastically composed and produced to be so euphoric and luscious, but hard-hitting and banging at the same time. And I seriously just can't tell you how many colors and just beautiful visuals just come to mind when I'm just letting my mind flow with these songs. I really felt like these songs were damn near perfectly written and produced, not just for us, but for Porter himself. I really hope he feels immense pride in this album, and I'm sure he does. I highly recommend reading into kind of what he said leading up to the album and afterward. There's some liner notes on Apple Music that really just showed me how many emotional layers there are to this album, and even some songs that on first listen just sounded kind of fun and cute and uplifting. There's a lot to it. It can really be a deceptive first listen for people, I think, especially who don't really know what to expect. It could just sound like some, you know, fun EDM, but yeah, this is just a really special project from front to back. My expectations were so very high, and especially considering just the built-up anticipation, but how long it's been since his glorious debut. I think, you know, has he lost it? Is he gonna flop? Is he gonna just drop like a, pretty great album? My God, this blew my expectations out of the water. I honestly think it's a lot better than Worlds, as much as I love that album. I'll just say it again, to bottom line, one of the most uplifting and colorful albums I have ever heard. Easily. I genuinely thought that after my first listen. In terms of everything, like lyrically, it's so inspiring and comforting, and production is just immaculately colorful, and again, just fun as hell too. It bangs. So many moments on this album just really felt like it was breathing life back into me and just opening my eyes up yet again to just what makes life worth living. This really just felt like a gift from the universe to me. There's quite a few, which I'll probably talk about in upcoming episodes, that it was one of those albums that just feel like it came at the perfect time in my life. Really just gave me this immense hope for the future and uplifted me and just, again, opened my eyes again to the world around me. I'm going to be listening to this all summer long and probably for years to come. I fucking love this album, yo. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. Spiritual electronic dance music. EDM for the soul. Please tell me what you think of this album, your favorite track, if you can pick one. I sure as shit can't. And any little stories or memories that you may have already made with this project. Like I said, that first hour listening experience. Beyond words. Just a really special time. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever forget that just first listen and experience in that forest there. I hope you guys get half of what I got out of this album, because obviously, like, I'm just floored by it. But I could go on for days, for real, just going into the intricacies of each song and everything. Give me some feedback on this video too. I mentioned in the last video, this is the first of the series I'm doing, talking about my experiences with albums, and I think it's gonna be good shit. Let me know what you think, what you'd like to hear more on, less of, you know, everything. I love the feedback, always here for it. You can follow me everywhere, links in the description, as usual. Come talk some shit with me on Twitter. And much love, stay tuned, and stream nurture.